this with you. A TIF district is essential, basically a TIF district reallocates funds from property tax to encourage investment within a district. I think the important thing in this is it is any increased revenues collected as a result of the increase in property values go into the TIF fund and can be used for this for a wide range of purposes. So basically the main thing is an increase of property values go into a TIF fund, which means any new development on the site or any new development at the site, those funds can come back to the city and be used within the TIF district to fund activities within the district, and I'll explain that. What can TIF revenues be used for? They can be used for a wide range of purposes within the TIF district to promote redevelopment and improve infrastructure benefiting the district. So, for example, in the current TIF district that we have in Shamrock Business Center, it allows us to put in some of the roads, water lines, electric, things of that nature within the TIF district. What is being proposed? The city is proposing creating a TIF district on 5 parcels of land formerly owned by Limeco Development, thus the settlement agreement. The property is currently owned by Encore Development, and the total acreage of the TIF as shown on the map is approximately 87 acres and is located off of Shamrock Boulevard. The TIF that's being proposed is 100% for 30 years. So that's something kind of unusual, but it's a TIF being proposed at 100% for 30 years. These are the 5 parcels. There's 1 parcel here, there's a larger parcel here, and then there are 3 parcels over on this side that will be included within the TIF district. And as I said, they total approximately 87 acres.
Why would the other property be included?
If you go back, we actually have to, the law requires that we draw a square around the TIF district, so we've included some additional areas. These are the ones that we proposed, specifically to Riverside School District. They have not agreed to be in the TIF district. Maybe in the future they will, but at this present time they have not. The reasons for creating the Shamrock State Route 44 Tax Incentive District is basically to generate additional funds that will allow us to promote development over there as well as improve the infrastructure. One of the things that we've talked about for a long time is the State Route 44 interchange. This will provide funding as a local match to move forward with the State Route 44 interchange. The Jackson Street relocation, we already received the parcels that we need donated from the developer for the relocation of Jackson Street to tie into the interchange. But if we had to buy additional properties, things of that nature, we could use the TIF funding to do that as well. Extension of utilities, water, sewer, electric are eligible uses, and then any roadway improvements. So if we happen to need to improve Elizabeth Boulevard, we could use TIF funding to actually do that because it benefits the TIF district and it's within the TIF district. To give you an idea, this is the zoning on the parcels. We've talked about this as part of the settlement agreement. The residential portion, which contains 166 houses, is right here. It was rezoned R160. You have the multifamily portion where they're proposing to put in 119 senior independent living dwelling or units in this general area, and then we rezone that to B2 from R2. So that will allow B2 development within that particular area. The other thing that the new owner requested is he would like to sit down with us and discuss what we would like to see in that particular B2 area. This just gives you an idea, this is the way the single-family residential is laid out. Here's the multi-family, 119 units that are located off of Shamrock Boulevard. The access point to those will actually be down here, right here, in this general area, off of Elizabeth, and then they'll also put a temporary road in here off of the future Jackson Street, which will access the senior living facility. This just gives you an idea of the interchange, where it will be located and how it would tie in. It would actually tie into Renaissance Parkway on the east side, and then the relocated Jackson would come up through to the Railbury Crossing. That gives you an example of the full interchange developed off of 44. As far as notifications were concerned, we're following the necessary process and notifying everybody within the time period required. That's why we have a meeting on December 31st. Property owners were notified 30 days prior to the hearing. County commissioners were notified 45 days, and Monica and I met with them, and there was no objection to the proposed TIF. We met with Riverside, a local school district board of education. They actually have signed the agreement, and it's pending. So on December 31st, should council approve this, we will sign it and return it to them, because that's the deadline to get it back to them. And then we have to notify them of the actual, prior to the passage of the ordinance, 14 days in advance, which is Riverside School District, and like I said, they're aware of it already in Auburn Career Center. So we will be meeting with Auburn Career Center to explain that to them prior to the notice, but they get the same benefit as the Riverside School District gets. Next steps, first reading on December 3rd, second reading on the 17th, and then we have a special meeting on the 31st to meet the required timelines for notification. And then we file it by December 3rd with the Ohio Development Services Agency. That's all I have. You have to answer any questions.
So Riverside School, there's no way this can be stopped. I mean, they've already approved it, they said they were good.
They've already approved the 30-year.
Did you not say originally that Riverside did not, the schools did not?
He was saying property, that other owner of that property hadn't approved it. The school already did. I know when he said that, I'm like, oh, I think that's going to confuse somebody, because the way it was phrased, it sounded like the same school did approve. But yes, the school
The
did.
school has approved it.
Okay.
And we have signed agreements waiting until the passage of the legislation.
And then you mentioned also that it was unusual in that we were asking for 100% for 30 years. So what is, I guess, normal?
It ranges, but state law allows, 75% up to 10 years with no approvals, through the schools. So if you go beyond that, you have to work with the schools and get their approval, and also provide notification to the county commissioners.
Okay, so it's not unusual, or it is unusual?
To go that long is somewhat unusual. The TIF on Shamrock Business Center, though, is also a 30-year TIF. And part of our discussions were, we need the revenues from the TIF district for that period of time if we're going to move forward with the interchange. If it's not approved for that long, there's no sense in doing a TIF district in that general area.
And this is the same or separate from that $5,000 an acre we're supposed to get?
This is separate.
Any other questions? No?
Thank you very much. So we'll wait for you to, we'll hear about the
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mrs. Denala. Yes. Mrs. Jenkins.
Yes.
Mr. Augustine.
Yes.
Mr. Fodor.
Yes.
Mrs. Shute.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes, meeting closed.